A lot of people who maybe don't have the programming mindset or maybe wasn't born with the acumen maybe to program, but are really driven and really interested in programming. What are some of your advice, or what would you say? You've got this interesting thing with katas, really. Maybe it's to do with that, but yeah, expand on what would you say? What's your advice to those sort of people?
Well, if so, there are several bits of advice. Number one, many people get into programming because they think it is a 3 or 5 year thing that they can use to then get into management and so on. And if that's your goal, well, then fine, do that and then get into management as soon as you can, because we probably don't want you actually programming anything. Then there are people who really want to be technical, and they want to stay technical. They want to stay technical for 20 or 30 years. And for those people, I suggest resist the draw towards management, because you will be drawn, and the pressure will get enormous. I have succumbed to that draw several times in my life, and always managed to make it back to be a programmer. Thank goodness. Read constantly. Do not think because you know Java or C# that you've hit the pinnacle and there's nothing else to know. There is a ton to know. Read like crazy. Read old stuff, right? Go back to these books that I pulled out here. Just a few of these books. Read those books. Here's a book I'll get out for you. Read this book. Read design patterns. Understand design patterns. This is the most important book written in the last 30 years, right? Make sure you know these design patterns. Understand them. Here's another book for you. It's Domain-Driven Design by Eric Evans. Understand what he says in here. It's fascinating and powerful, right? You've got to know this stuff. Acquiring the knowledge of and I've just pulled out, like 3 books out of 50. Acquiring the knowledge of software development is the work of a lifetime, and you will never get to the pinnacle. So you have to keep on climbing and keep on learning. But there's something else you have to do. It is very easy for programmers to get so focused on the code and on programming that they forget that their real purpose is to communicate. So you also have to practice communicating. This doesn't come naturally to most programmers. So you should practice it. Practice giving talks. Practice writing articles. You may never publish them. It doesn't matter. Write them. Practice writing. Practice articulating. Practice speaking. Get your coworkers and give them a little talk about some thing that you read about somewhere or some new language. Develop the skill of communication with other people, and that will serve you very, very well.
Awesome.
This is a SkillStruct presentation. If you like what you hear and see, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.